Welcome to this look at another map I missed on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another in the Maps I Missed series with MrSealyp. This is Eastern North Carolina by MacTrucker921. 438 megabytes download. There are no required mods. I have no excuse. The only thing I can think is potentially when it popped up, because I also did the map tour on East Vineland, New Jersey. Whether I saw the East, saw MacTrucker921 and thought I've already done that, I don't know. I can't understand why. This is a beautiful map. Listen to the sound effects. As I was doing my map prep, I was driving around feeling very calm, very relaxed, but also that feeling of wanting to go out into the countryside, find somewhere under a tree and just sit and watch the world go by. It's another one of those maps. Absolutely brilliant. As I said, there are no required mods. We'll talk about slot count already because we start here at the main farm on the map. Slot count on new farmer is 827. Slot count on farm management start from scratch is 601. Difference being you don't start with any of the vehicles, machinery or any of the buildings here at the start farm. And the start farm will look like this. So with that said, I'm going to put some money in a moment. We'll go around. I'll start off with build mode as I always do. There are collectibles available. Contracts are available. There are 3 additional crops. We've got meadow grass, alfalfa and clover. If we go into this menu and we go to our seeders, you'll see the 3 extra crop types there are all put into the ground using seeders and then taken out of the ground. The alfalfa and the meadow grass are both, they can be mown, tedded, baled, all that kind of stuff, but the clover can be taken out of the ground with a regular header out on the end there. So regular header will do your clover if you want to do clover. You don't have to, it's entirely up to you, of course. Under build mode we have got nothing under sheds, but under silos we scroll out, we've got these. Now this is an interesting one. We've got the bunker silo large compost. So in that one it says this bunker silo can be used to compost straw, grass, hay, soybean, straw, clover, clover hay, alfalfa, alfalfa hay, sugar beet, cut sugar beets, potatoes, sorghum, wood chip, anything. When the compost is full it should be compacted and covered the same as you do with silage, which actually means one thing I did forget to check. If we go to our manure spreaders, there we go, compost is added into manure spreaders. So you can, any of those things, it's like that additional crop thing. If you do a storyline, or you might have crops that are rotting in a barn, or crops that you can't do anything with, or surplus crops, whatever. Sling them in a compost silage clamp them up. When they're done, you've got fertiliser to put in your fields. If you haven't got animals, it's a good way of getting some fertiliser. So, jobbed. That's under silos. Under silo extensions, we do have a manure heap. Then if we go to factories and we scroll out, now most of the factories, there's an additional one here as well. I think, where was it? It's here somewhere. There we go, concrete production plant. We'll get to that later on, but all the other ones have been tweaked for their recipes, and most of them as well produce pig food as a byproduct. But some of them, we've got corn, we've got cracked corn, we've got you'll see as we go around, there's some extra oils and various different things, so they've been modded and tweaked. I think we've got one sell point, that one there, the debris crusher. So rather than just be a sell point for stone, it's stone to lime. Again, we'll get to that later on. There was nothing under greenhouses. Under orchards though, we did have, there we go, we've got grapevine at 3.5 metre. Looks like it's the same price. I'm not sure what the difference is between those, but anyway, that's been added in. And then from there we go up to our animals. And the cows, we've got some extra ones put in against capacities. They're standard, I say standard in-game ones, it's just you can put more animals in them. There was nothing under horses. Pigs, we've got a pig pen. Sheep, we've got sheep pen. Chickens, got a chicken pen. Chickens have got extra things there that they can be fed. I'll go back to that later on. That will make a little bit more sense. Nothing under bees. Decoration, I think we had one thing under others. There we go, we've got a small carport under others. And then if we go to our landscaping, under painting, we've got these extra textures. So you can create fields using, there you go, field crate, ploughed or grass field. You can just plonk those straight down. Plus we have got a load of extra other paint textures. And then there was nothing under trees, but then we did have under plants he says, under plant. There we go. So we've got extra plants added in as well to put in wherever you wish. So as I said, we start here, sleep trigger at the main farmhouse. We do have a workshop trigger here for a workshop just there. We come across, oh, that was the other thing I meant to do, sorry. Go down to here and go to, I've got it on my notes, I just saw it. So under mods and DLCs, in sort of the vehicles menu type thing, we go to there, we've got all of this. So we've got cracked corn, large cracked corn bin, scratch grain bin, like I said, that'll become relevant later on, large lime bin, large limestone bin which can be purchased. Then we've got some equipment and machinery. Equipment and machinery tweaked to add extra colours, some different speeds across the ground, and some capacities have changed on these. We've got mowing rigs and setups, 18 miles an hour. That seeder, the Lemken Solitaire 12, has been converted so it will do all crop types, not just seeder crop types. It will do seeder and planter and the additional crop types. Has the capacity on that changed? I'm trying to think what that is. 5.5 metres. I think it might be the capacity on the Scorpio. The Case IH Magnum, which is a Mac Trucker 921 mod, and the flatbed. This is one of those ones that it hasn't been put in as required mods added in, but they are by the map maker. Mac Trucker 921 has just put them in on the map. Anyway, that tractor is an absolute beauty. I love that to bits. So some extra bits and bobs, and the class Lexion has got an extra capacity, goes up to 29,500 litres as well, which is all very cool. So it's been added in. So as we roll across, we start to see some of our equipment and machinery. Masses, mulchers, seeders, cultivators. We come down the way here. We have got a buy silo. This is for lime seed, fertilizer, mineral feed. Smaller tractor with front loader gear, rock picker, harvester header. We do have a gas station built into the farm, and if we come across the way here, we have got one of the silos that was in the build mode. This is a 1,000,000 litre multi-fruit silo, and it takes everything, bulk, crop types, all sorts of stuff in there. And then come down the way, and we've got a pickup just here. So we're going to grab the pickup and we're going to head off. I'm going to put some money in. I don't know if I've got that tug again, that yearn, that need to get up to the Lake District, or just to get out. You know, it's that difficult thing of taking a day off to not do anything, and I mean like do nothing, to go and find somewhere and just sit and have a picnic and watch the world go by. I've got that feel, you know, that I want to do that. Get the van, drive somewhere, and just chill out for a day. And driving around this map kind of gave me that feeling. So anyway. Did I say there's collectibles? There's 100 collectibles as well. Bear with me, I'm just going to put some money in. My pickup may have moved. I went to put money in and realised I hadn't enabled the mod. It's done now, don't worry. So, from here, let's head out. We're going to go north out of the farm, sweeping across this gorgeous landscape. And it really is. This is, it feels brighter. I know you can go through, we're in August, of course we are, and you can go through the seasons, and obviously the seasons will change. If the weather's bad, if it's pouring with rain or it's snowing, it will change. But it feels very summery. It's got a really nice, vibrant feel to it. I like the meadow grass, that's very cool. Now there is a railway that runs across the map. I haven't seen a train on it yet. The tracks seem quite wide and they're a bit bumpy over and above. It's not like level crossings either. There's 2 crossing points I've come across anyway. I'm not saying a train doesn't run along it. I think it looks more like a decorative, I don't know, it's difficult to tell. I haven't seen the train, let's just say that. So we bump across there. We're going to head down. Just to our left is a dairy, but the first plot of land that needs to be purchased, we're going to buy probably all the productions because I want to show you all the various different things. If we swing around here and go back to our map. So we've come out of the farm north up to here, and we're at plot 73. If we buy that, do that, that and that, boom. Sheep pen. This will hold 500 sheep. So I said they are slightly modified with the amounts they will take. So 500 sheep there. We'll go down to the dairy and we'll buy that. If I miss any plots, I tried to off camera. It does say in the description that all of the houses, can be sold there are lots of little plots. If we go back to the map. I didn't talk about field prices and stuff, but that is what the map looks like. Sorry. On New Farmer, just bought that plot. We do start with all of these bits here, a few of these purchased. But with all of these little plots, there's like a caravan park there, trailer park in UK, caravan park, but there's lots of little plots, all with little farmhouses, and it does say they can all be sold if you want to. So if you want to extend fields and stuff like that, I tried to buy as many of them as I could to check and make sure I hadn't missed any sell points or buy points or anything on there. And as far as I can tell, I didn't miss anything. Field prices are pretty much average across the board for small fields, medium, large. Nothing crazy cheap, nothing crazy expensive. It's what you would probably expect. As you can see, we have got some forestry plots all nicely split up into small, manageable, bite-sized chunks. So if you want to have a go at forestry, you can. You haven't got to go mad. But you can also build up to it. If you want to do loads of forestry, you can start off small and gradually work your way up. I like that. We do have, I'm not going to go to all of them, but we do have one here, and one right down to the south. We have water points. So you can drive to those, and there are points where you can get water from. Obviously, in the mod hub, there are loads of wells and pumps and various different things for putting in for water as well. But there are 3 on the map if you want to put them in. So we are now at the dairy. If we go and buy the dairy, do that, 70 grand, you'll see that the recipes duplicate. And what you also see is rather than just butter, milk to butter, you've got pig food. A lot of the processes that produce a something edible, is that the best way of putting it? A commodity like that. Pig food is a byproduct on pretty much all of them. So they have all been tweaked. But you've also then got your standard ones, and then you've got sped up processes. So it's the actual cycles per month are more, and the recipes are larger. So if you want to go standard and you just want it to be normal, you can run the first 3 or one of them, whatever you want to do. If you'd rather have faster productions, you can. I like the fact that's been put in there. Sometimes you get maps where you've just got really fast productions and people don't like that. Sometimes you've got maps where they're standard and people don't like that because they'd rather have them faster. So you've got options on both. And I think pretty much all the productions, or I think to the tailors, I'm not sure, all have that as an option. I will buy them all, I will show you as we go along, but that's the dairy. I like the fact pig food is being produced as a byproduct, because most productions have a waste product of some description. I know when I watch Joe Seals a lot, and they talk about being more conscious of the environment and waste and that kind of stuff, and sustainability, and a lot of the feeds they try and buy for the animals that they mix in with them total mix ration are byproducts of processes that local factories, productions, feed manufacturers have. So they just add that in, supplement their feeds. So here we've got another lime seed fertilizer mineral feed buy point on the right. Then we are at the sell point north, or the north sell point, and then north sell point bales, so next to each other, just there. Sweeping across, more areas to purchase if you wish. Turn the corner and we've got, I think it's pizzeria. Pretty sure it's pizzeria. Turn onto the main road. Pizzeria. Now this map is also, it does say in the description, this is made, created using actual satellite photos of the area. It does say as well that most of the buildings, houses, woodlands, roads, fields are put in as accurately as possible, but then obviously productions have been added in to make it compatible for Farming Simulator, which on the map those productions don't necessarily exist, but as far as everything else goes, pretty much accurate. If we come to the oil mill just here, this is a cool one. Click on our oil mill, sunflower oil, canola and olive oil, standard. We've then got corn oil, which uses regular corn. We've then got corn oil, which uses cracked corn, which we'll get to later on. Again, pig food being a byproduct. Then we've got the same recipes repeated. We've got soybean oil, sunflower oil, canola oil. Soybean oil, sorry. Then they're duplicated again with the faster speeds, larger recipes. So again, you can have it running at standard, but you have got these additions of corn oil, twice soybean oil added in as well. So if you want to run those, you can. From here, we're going to head out to the next sell point. This is grain sell point north. It does have a grain dryer bit onto the side of it, but it is just a sell point. It's not a production or anything like that. That's grain at sell point north. What we are going to do is just whiz around the edge of the field. I was looking for a track and there isn't one, so don't be alarmed. I will try to avoid damaging crops if I can. It's just quicker than going back to the main road, down and back in again. Just thought this will speed up the process a little bit. God, very hardy those plants they are. Watch out for the tree. So, next point we come to is just here. So, back to the map we go. So we went from the sheep pen, dairy, up there and across, up there to the oil mill, grain sell point, followed the edge of this field round, and we're now here. So if we buy plot 72, do that and that, these triggers come up. You can buy plot 80, it's got a farmhouse on, there's no trigger or anything like that, and I've bought the other plots around it just to check for sell points. They're pretty standard. But the other thing I like on the map is you can buy every plot. Then there are no verges, there's nothing like that. Every plot can be purchased, every plot can be tinkered with, played with, things added on, whatever you want to do, it's entirely up to you. So the cow barn here, it's not a one with robot, it's a standard. It has been tweaked because it will do 250 cows rather than the standard 80, isn't it, I think, in game? Like I say, the farmhouse is next door, so if you wanted to buy the land and grow your farmhouse here, expand your farmhouse, yeah, farmhouse in a pot, just add water. So back out towards the main road. We're going to go past the supermarket sell point on the main road. Just there. Next up on the left we've got the restaurant sell point. This is a little bit bumpy over the tracks here, so be aware if you're hauling, you don't want to catapult things. So there's the restaurant just there. Then we take the next turning on the left just before we get to the biogas plant, which is this one here. This is the sugar mill. Now it's a standard sugar mill, nothing over and above sugar being produced here, but it has got the double recipe. Oh no, I take that back, sorry, pig food, I said that, didn't I, earlier? Most of them are producing pig food as well. If we buy that, again, double recipes, so it all doubles up. So the first three standard, second three sped up, and pig food as a byproduct with all those at the sugar mill. Next door we've got the biogas plant. The biogas plant, I don't think this one we can buy the land separately to the biogas plant. I think we actually have to buy the land to get it. So if you look now, there are no icons, nothing showing on the map, so there's nothing to go to buy, so you actually have to buy the land. So plot 51 here, 219,389, not too bad, is it, for a biogas plant? And then your icons appear. Go back and have a look. Swing across the grass up onto there. Two large silage clamps. I don't think either of these ones are compost ones, as I haven't come across a compost silage clamp. At the main farm there's not one. I think they're just added in for you to put wherever you want on the map. Again, it's not forcing you to have them, they're there if you want to use them. Like I might have missed one somewhere. As far as I can tell, these are both standard field level chaff. It doesn't say compost on them. So as far as I'm aware, biogas plant here. If we come to the biogas plant, standard crop types in with digestate out. If I made my notes correctly, there we go, and digestate out. So fairly standard biogas plant there, 500 kilowattage. Now when we come down to, I'm never quite sure of the, it's probably quite straightforward and simple, the names of roads in the US, interstates and highways. And interstate the same as a highway? I'm not sure. We have A roads, B roads, motorways, you know, dual carriageways, that kind of thing. To the left we have got Sawmill, which I'm going to just do now before we turn right. So what I'm going to do, because this is dual lane that runs that way and then dual lane that runs back. What is curious actually, there aren't a lot of crossing points at the various different sell points, so you have to go kind of a bit further up, unless you want to cut across the grass. You have to go a bit further up, find a crossing point and come back, which is probably quite real for the US. So we're going to go that way first, cross over, come back, and we'll take them all in. But while we're here, if I don't get run down, we'll quickly go to the Sawmill. Sawmill, double whammy on the productions again on this one, but it is a standard Sawmill. Click on there, do that. So we've got wood, planks and wood chip being produced, and then we have got the sped up versions there as well. So production of that, wood in is just over there, Our wood chip pile you just saw back there, and just over here we've got the biomass heating plant. That is a cell point, pretty much standard as a biomass heating plant. That being said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to double check that because I didn't make a note of it on my notes. So if we go down to, I'm just trying to think what sort of things generally. Biomass are usually things like wood chip, so biomass heating plant right inside. Just trying to think if there's anything over and above. Straw, I think it's just wood chip and straw normally. As far as I can tell, wood chip and straw at the biomass heating plant. So that's the sawmill. We're going to head west. Oh. It's got a lovely sweep to the landscape as well. I'm digging that. Turning just here, and we have got lime seed fertilizer mineral feed purchase point just there. This is the farm sell point south. The other one, farm sell point north, we went to. Farm sell point south just there, and farm sell point south bales is just there. And then this is the debris crusher. That's supposed to be on top of there? I guess so. Yeah, I guess for the stuff coming out. I suddenly thought, huh? Did I notice that before? Yeah, must be. So I purchased that. Rock in, lime out. 500 to 400, you lose a little bit. Doesn't require water or anything like that. Actually, what I'm going to do is double check. Let's go back to production. Oh no, it wasn't. It was sell point, wasn't it? Oh yeah, the picture there shows it with the on the top. Just like, well, whoa, where'd that come from? Anyway, there you go. Debris crusher, lime production, just on there. Heading down. We've got carpentry on our left hand side, and I think this is the same. So we just turn in off here. Turn in here. There we go. So buy carpentry, furniture wood, furniture planks, then doubled up. So obviously things like that. So what I was saying, the consumables, is that the way to put it? Things that are like foodstuffs are the things that are going to give you pig food. Things like furniture and stuff won't. Obviously not all the productions are going to give pig food. I mean, I know that's kind of glaringly obvious, isn't it? But I don't want to make a sweeping statement and say all the productions give you pig food, because then, you know, I'll get letters. It happens. So heading east again, so we're back on the other side. We're past the sawmill. And turn down here. So this is what takes us down to the concrete production plant. Now it's interesting when you do map tours, like on this one, concrete production plant, and you can produce the various different things. When you've had maps that have been made by people like Poor Boy Modding and Zero Oito and things like that, when you get one like this, and concrete production, that's awesome. You know, if I go back to FS15, 17, even 19, certain productions we just didn't have. You know, the things that would be like on console, wouldn't it be cool to have X, Y, Z, Z? But then you show something like this and then people say, well, what do I do with that? Nothing necessarily. That can just be sold once you've made those things. There's not necessarily an onward thing from these productions. You make the concrete stuff and then that's kind of, it goes from there. It's interesting how we've got to that point now where everyone's looking for what's the next thing, what is next after that. So concrete production, just here, everything's labelled, as you can see, like gravel. You can see where all the various different things come out. Quite, say, straightforward. 296 grand to buy the building. So we can produce lime, gravel, sand, concrete. So the lime recipe is limestone in to give you lime out, Gravel is stone in, gives you gravel and sand out. Sand, you can just do sand and stone, so you can have gravel or sand, gravel and sand, or just sand, again with stone. Then concrete requires lime, gravel and sand, so you can produce all the very different things. So limestone is that thing of, okay, well immediately, where do I get limestone from? I've already showed you in the sort of the build mode under vehicles, there were pallets. So you can buy pallets of limestone if you want to buy pallets of limestone. If you don't want to buy pallets of limestone, at least to start off with, if we go back to our map, the other thing I found as well, some of these productions, so we came out onto the main highway, Sawmill's just there, out along there, took in those, carpentry, back up, and we've driven down here. We don't own the land, so we've bought the facility, but we don't own the land. If we buy the land, do that and that little triangle there, this is all limestone. It's not gravel, it's not rock, it's limestone. That can be picked up with buckets, scoops, grabs, you know, whatever will allow it, can be picked up from this. So you've got this huge pile of limestone, but if you don't want to get it from there and you do want to purchase it, you can go to your pallets, roll it across, and then all the ones that have been added in, like I said, cracked corn and all those different things. But you've got limestone pallets there, 480 for 6,000 litres. So if you'd rather buy it, you can buy it, but it means transporting it over. That's entirely up to you. But that is a gigantic limestone pile if you want to use it. I'm going to back up to the main road and we'll continue on. I'll see you up there in just a moment. Right, I have to make sure I look the correct way. Back on here. Get across. I'm actually going to pull into the central reservation here. Moves across the road. I'm looking the right way. So just in here we've got the vehicle shop and workshop trigger. So vehicle shop just there, workshop trigger just over there, and we've got a gas station, so we've got fuel pumps just here as well. This is the reset point on the map, so if you need to reset anything, it will reset back to here at the vehicle shop, and then round behind the vehicle shop we've got the grape processing unit. And that was the other thing I looked for as well, looking at the fields. I don't think we've got any vines on any of the fields yet. I know in the build mode there was the extra grapevines added in. Again, I don't think we have, but they are there to put in if you want to. And again, pig food is a byproduct. Click on that, buy our grape processing unit, and we've got the double up of the recipes if you want the faster ones as well. So, grape processing unit, done. It's one country I've been to a couple of times, been to Canada a couple of times, it's the countries I would love to explore more. I've said that so many times on videos. And the thing is, you get maps from different places, you watch television programs and travel programs, and people go to all these amazing places, and I always look and think, I would love to go places like that, you know, the Dakotas, the Carolinas, all across America. I'd just love to wouldn't it be great to just win the lottery and just say, we're just going to travel. Let's just travel. I'd love to do a trip where you take in every state in the US. How amazing would that be? Just travel for months at a time. It's an expensive proposition. Anyway, bakery, sorry. It's just as I'm driving around thinking, oh man, this is so cool. Bakery, just here. There we go. Pig food as a byproduct again. Double whammy on the recipes. Down the hill. It is interesting how on maps, when you get a road like that, or whether it's a river or a railway, and you get almost like these zones, this side it's sort of sweeping down into a valley, and you kind of come up over the ridge, and you've got the sort of south section, the north section, you might have a mid section to map, how it's sort of broken into separate sections, not necessarily on purpose, but it does feel like a very different feel to the bottom part of the map as it is to the top. Spinnery, just here. Then just to the south of here, we've got one of those water points I was talking about. If you drive down that little track, turning towards the trees, there's a little pond just in amongst the trees. But Spinnery is here. Now this one didn't have double whammy on the recipes, so this is just standard Spinnery recipes. Fabric wool, fabric cotton, so there's nothing that speeds those up. They are as they are at the Spinnery. We head back up to the main road again. Found some plots that needed purchasing. As you can see as well, as you go around, it's not littered with fencing, there's not loads of stuff in the way. If you want to expand your fields and plough stuff out, you can. It's not restrictive. If you love your big machinery and equipment, this is going to be right up your boulevard. So over the brow we go. To our left hand side, just over there, we've got the animal dealer, and there is an animal dealer sell point. I'm going to cut across the central reservation just there. So animal dealer sell point just around the side, animal dealer point just there. Next door to that we have got grain sell point south. So we had grain sell point north, the one that had the dryer on the side of it. It's just a sell point, not for drying anything. That's grain sell point south. Then next door to that we have got the cereal factory. We pull in just there. Again, food for the Piggly Wigglies. So 2 cereal recipes, slow and fast. From here, we come to the grain mill. This is grain mill plus, so we've got some additions. So some of those things I was talking about earlier on and you've seen already in the menus might make a bit more sense when we come to here. So if we just turn in there and hop out, we'll go to the grain mill, purchase that, and then have a look. So we've got wheat flour, barley flour, oat flour, sorghum flour. That's standard, that's good. Cornmeal and cracked corn can be done here. So if you've got recipes or feed for animals or anything that requires those things, then you can get those here. And then we duplicate those recipes again, but the slightly faster ones. So cornmeal and cracked corn can be done here, hence grain meal plus. Pig food as well, byproduct. Oh, spoiler. Spoiler alert. Now, head down here, you will see a pen on the right hand side. I'm going to buy a couple of these plots because these have got some extra pens, pastures, etc. Now something that was in the build mode, and I haven't found one on the map. I'm not saying there isn't one, I haven't found one. If we go back to our map, so we came down there and took in the spinnery, and we came back up again and out along there past the animal dealer, and then we had the sell point, so the grain sell point south, and then the cereal factory. We've just done, let's click off that, just did the grain mill, and we're now here. So this plot 71, do that and that, plot 70, that and that. If I've done the right ones, that and that. There we go. So we've got pig pen and we've got chickens. I'm also going to buy this one here because if we come out and we go into our build mode, go to production and factories and go right to the very end. The one that I haven't found anywhere is that. So scratch grain mixer. So under the animal pens, when I showed you that earlier, the chickens can be fed. If you look on there on the right hand side, there's a little ball, scratch grain. And I was thinking, well, where's that? Where's the factory for scratch grain? How would you do that? And it's there. It's under production, under factories. It's 85 grand. I think it was 85. Yeah, 85 grand. If I just put that on that plot of land I just purchased, spin that round, I'll just do it there. That'd be right, like that. So we'll whiz across that first. Actually, no, we'll do the chickens first. So chickens here, under the trees, 500 chickens can be put in here. If you put one of these in, you can make scratch grain to feed the chickens here. So again, scratch grain, just one recipe on that, but wheat, barley, sorghum, sunflower and cracked corn will give you a scratch grain. Now the only downside to this one is you do need all of those, because initially I thought, oh, that's pretty cool if you've got some leftover wheat, but you can feed wheat, barley and sorghum to your chickens anyway, but with a few little bits thrown in, a bit of extras, you can make scratch grain. Do you have to? No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you can feed them all the other things as well. If we go back into our build mode, go to our animals and back to our chickens, all the other things are still showing there. You can feed them those things, but I think scratch grain may be sort of the main. So actually, no, we can check that, can't we? Let's put some chickens in. Doesn't hurt to check that, does it, while we're here? Gotta have a rooster. Has to be done. Let me go back to that. How are we looking? Oh, right, okay, so it's separated. So there we go, scratch grain 125%. So that's why. Cracked corn 60, wheat, barley, oat or sorghum 20%, sunflower 20%. So whereas normally you would feed wheat, barley, oats, sorghum to your chickens, on this map it'll only give you 20%. So if you want to take the time to make scratch grain, I thought I'd better double check that, because the question would be, oh, why am I bothering? Why would I make scratch grain? What's the point? Because you get far more effectiveness from the scratch grain and even cracked corn than you do from just feeding wheat, barley, oat or sorghum. So that's why you might want to have a go at that. A little bit further along. We've got our pigs. This was 300, 350, I think. There you go. Pigs 350. Just here. Actually, that's something about, I didn't check with the other animals. Let's buy some pigs. Let's go to that, and we'll go. No, let's go to that. Look at our pigs. That's pretty much the same. Base food, grain, protein, root crops. If you just buy pig food, and all those productions, if you've got those running, they're all producing pig food, you just bring pig food here. I think it's predominantly the chickens that are a little bit different. Then we've got our tailors just here. Tailors which can be purchased to produce clothes. This has got a slow and a fast recipe, and we have got a wardrobe trigger next to it. Then we come out, so across the fields. The main farm is over in that direction. If we go back to our map, that way, so we come up this run here. If you drive all the way out there and up there, there's a lovely little bridge here, water point just in there amongst the trees, and the main farm is over there. As far as I can tell, that's all of it. That's all the productions, that's all the things I had on my list, all the stuff I needed to tell you about, as far as I can tell. And that's it. Another map I missed. Eastern North Carolina. I apologise, Map Trucker 921, I really do. I don't know how I missed it or why I missed it, but I'm making up for it now. So that's by Map Trucker 921. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.